In the previous lesson, we defined the meaning of a to the power of negative n, and we discovered some useful rules that can help us convert negative exponents to positive exponents. And we said that whenever you have a to the power of negative n, that can be written as 1 over a to the power of n there, so the n becomes positive. And then if you have 1 over a to the power of negative n, that can be written as a to the power of positive n. If you have a over b raised to an exponent negative n there, that can be written as b over a raised to the power of positive n there. So those are the useful rules that we discovered in the previous lesson. So in this lesson, I want us to explore further examples of negative exponents, try to figure how we can use this laws right here. Okay, so let's start off with this very simple example here. If you have x to the power of 5 divided by x to the power of 10, according to the laws of exponents, dividing the poles of the same base, what do? You subtract the exponents there. So that will give us x to the power of negative 5. X to the negative 5 can be written as 1 over x to the power of 5, because this negative sign here will become a division line, and then x will sit on the denominator, and then you raise it to the exponent positive 5 there, and then your numerator there will be 1. All right, now let's have a look at the second example here, which is 4x to the power of negative 2 divided by 2x to the power of negative 4. Well, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to apply the third rule that we discussed on the previous lesson. So it will be 4 over 2 there, okay? And then this x to the power of negative 4 will go up to the numerator so that it becomes positive, and then same applies with this x to the power of negative 2. It will come down to the denominator so that it becomes positive. So in this case, we will end up having an expression like this. It will be 4 over 2, and then the numerator, we will have x to the power of positive 4, and then the numerator, it will be x to the power of positive 2. Now from this, 2 goes how many times into 4? It goes 2 times. What is x to the power of 4 divided by x to the power of 2? That's going to be x to the power of 4 minus 2 there, giving us a final answer of 2x squared there. So that's your final answer for this expression. A third example for this lesson will be 2x multiplied by y to the power of negative 1 raised to the power of negative 3 all over 2x to the power of negative 3 multiplied by y. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to apply this rule saying that whenever you multiply 2 or more terms and then raise them to an exponent, that can further be written as a to the power of n b to the power of n there. So that's the rule that I'm going to apply on the numerator. So that should give me 2 to the negative 3 x to the negative 3. So it will be 2 to the negative 3 x to the negative 3 y to the negative 1 times negative 3. So it will be positive 3 there. And then you divide this by 2x to the power of negative 3 multiplied by y. And then from here, x to the power of negative 3 will cancel x to the power of negative 3. And then y to the power of 3 divided by y will give us y to the power of 2 divided by 2 to the power of negative 3 will come down to the numerator so that it becomes positive, and then it will be multiplied with this 2 over here. So we will have 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 2. So that will give us a final answer of y to the power of 2 divided by 2 to the power of 3 will give us 8, and then 8 times 2, that is 16 there. So the final answer is y squared over 16. Now let's have a look at this, the last example for this lesson. Here we have 2 multiplied by 3 raised to the power of negative 2 plus 2 multiplied by 3 to the negative 2. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to multiply 2 and 3. So it'll give me 6 to the power of negative 2 plus 2 times 3 to the power of negative 2 there. Alright, so 6 to the power of negative 2 can be written as 1 over 6 to the power of 2. But what is 6 to the power of 2? That is going to give us 36 there. Alright, and then I'll add that with 2 over 3 to the power of 2. But what is 3 to the power of 2? That is 9 there. Alright, so it'll give us 9. And then when you add these fractions together, you will end up with 1 over 4. Of course, if you want to show up your calculation, what you can do on the second last step, you can find the lowest common denominator and then add up the fractions. So in this case, I just went straight to the final answer there. Alright, so that concludes our lesson for today. Of course, you can go further and practice what we've done in this lesson by attempting the question which I left on the description link there below. So you can click on it, download them, and then attempt them. So until next time, goodbye.